Good.
Sweet.
When everyone's rolling and ready, we're off to go. Thank you.
Craig, you've been saying for a couple of weeks you're getting closer. You got there tonight, didn't you? You happy with that?
Yeah, you always sort of got something that you probably, I thought we probably could have or should have scored a few more points in the first half. I thought we just lost a little bit of patience there on occasions, but it's hard to be too critical tonight. I thought we defended really well. It's always going to be a big night for the Broncos after the week they've had, and I suppose at the start of the game it took a little bit off them by the amount of ball we had, and if they'd have had a little bit more ball or possession of the ball to start the game, they might have been a little bit more dangerous. But I think we took a bit of gas out of them early, and like I say, it was our performance was really good. I was really happy with them defensively, and I think with the ball we're just getting a little bit better each week. And like I say, I've been really happy with the last 3 weeks with our attitude, and we haven't won all 3 games, but there's been a real improvement in our consistency to what we were doing early in the season.
Is that something you're wary of, Craig, that the impact that Griffin decision would have on the side, whether that might inspire the
Yeah, well, we didn't really talk about it. We were obviously aware of it. Basically, I probably set the scene for the players, on Tuesday, and that, what was happening up here, and we were going to be playing in front of a big crowd, and we're probably playing against a team that's, I suppose, pumped up or ready to roll. But having said that, we can't control how they prepare or how they're going to come out. All we can do is control how we come out, and that's the thing that we spoke about. And we come out really good, at the start of both halves. So that was really important for us.
How do you feel the guys have come out of the Origin period, Craig, and mentally and physically?
I think they've come. I think they've come out pretty good, to be quite honest. By the way they've been playing. Our Origin players always play good. To be quite honest, they're never a burden on the side. Even when they're not quite at their best, they're still giving us probably better than what other players will. So, but I think Cameron. I wouldn't give him a rest that night. He didn't want to come off. Billy, they're all the same. They don't want to come off. Obviously, Cooper's probably a little bit fresher than the other two or the other 3, sorry. With Hoff as well. But he obviously missed a bit of footy. So at the end of the day, we don't want him missing footy, but probably is a bit of a godsend for us.
Can I ask just the standards he sets at training? I know it's
With Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very particular about his preparation, and being the position that he plays, he's very particular about how we prepare as a team. But so like I say, he's quite demanding on people. But having said that, he is too, and Billy is as well. And we just need a few of those younger blokes to help these guys drive the standards. And there's probably been a little bit of a void there in the last 18 months. Because we've lost a lot of middle tier players, and young guys are coming through to replace them. But all those guys set a great example, and like I say, I probably said way too often, but I feel very fortunate to be able to coach these guys.
Craig, Darren, like you said in the commentary, that he thought it was a blessing in disguise that Cooper had suffered that injury, obviously having that time off during Origin, with now yourselves going forwards to the finals. Feel that way a bit?
Oh, yeah, I think that's what I just said. Like we didn't want to get hurt in Origin, miss 6 weeks, whatever we missed, and 4 or 5 club games or 6 club games, whatever it was. We're always going to struggle when you haven't got your half back, But having said that, it probably is now. He's probably freshened up a little bit. At the same time, he would have, he was training. Whatever he could do, he was training as hard as he could. That's just Cooper Cronk, And but yeah, I think you're right. I think that, or Darren's right, and that probably has helped freshen him up, and hopefully we can keep him fresh and try and freshen those guys up too. The other Origin players, and make sure we stay full of run.
Craig, I think your points difference moved from -20 to +2, and this year maybe that could be important, couldn't it?
Well, probably more so than ever, Stu. The way the competition table's been, but Having said that, you know, I know I've said the last couple of weeks, we're not too concerned about the table at the moment. At the end of the day, we're just concerned about our performance, how we prepare and how we play. And, you know, the table looks after itself. You know, if you start worrying about the table, you know, this team might beat that team, and we want that team to beat this team. At the end of the day, you know, that's out of our control. All we can control is our performance, and that's always been our mentality. And, you know, we'll celebrate tonight. We've got a long turnaround, and, you know, we've had a couple of guys, a couple of milestones tonight, and Jess and Will, but, you know, this guy has become the highest point scoring forward in the history of the game. I think that probably don't need to say too much more. You know, his influence on the game, and, you know, what he's done already, and, you know, what he's going to do in the future. You know, he's been magnificent for our club and magnificent for the game. So, so we're just going to worry about our performance, and we'll see what happens at the end of the competition.
What does that mean to you, Cam? I know stats mean, but what is it?
I actually did. I
Is it up
didn't.
there with the Origin wins, or how does it compare?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like individual accolades or milestones, they're always nice to have, I guess, you know. But that comes on the back of team success and having the players around you. And if I could score a few more tries, it'd be nice. I would have passed that record a couple of years ago, but I don't get many tries. But look, it's nice, and particularly, you know, the guy that I've gone past tonight, Craig Fitzgibbon. You know, I was lucky enough to play alongside Fitzy in the 2008 World Cup, and he's a champion bloke. You know, I actually spent a lot of time with him and learned a lot from him in that campaign. And you know, there's probably not a better bloke to go past than Fitzy. But yeah, it's always nice to, you know, to get a bit of a pat on the back for the work that you do. But again, you know, I wouldn't have had that success if I hadn't been playing at this great club, and obviously having a great coach for a long time, and playing alongside some of the champion players that the game will ever see. You know, they've given me the opportunity to get that accolade, so it's nice. But yeah, we'll have to move on now and focus on next week.
Cameron, do you feel that you might be able to start a little bit of a run now that you've found your feet as a team? Or?
Yeah, well, I think, it's that time of year where we need to. It's more so we need to build our consistency, which we have over the past 3 weeks, as Craig mentioned, even though we were beaten by the Bulldogs by 2 points. But you can see the energy is a lot better around training. The energy is a lot better out in the field, particularly in defence. You know, we struggled early in the first half of the season. You know, we were conceding a lot of points. We were conceding a lot of tries, which is very much unlike us and what we train for and our standards that we set ourselves. But I think in the last 3 weeks, I think we've conceded only, you know, something like, I think it's about five tries in 3 games. You know, so that's back to where we wanted to be. And, you know, the attitude is just great. You know, as Craig said, the attitude is really good around the place about, you know, striving to be better, striving to maintain standards, rather than, you know, guys coming out for 1 game or 2 matches and playing well and then thinking, well, you know, I've done a good job over the last couple of weeks, I'll put my feet up. You know, we're working really hard. Everyone's working really hard, and you know, that's the time of year to do that. You know, we spoke about, you know, the table. Although we don't look at it, we're aware of how congested it is at the moment, and it's important that we continue to build.
Cameron, you talk about the stars and the side. What about the efforts of Bromwich tonight, with Proctor and Hinchcliffe?
Yeah.
When those guys chip in, how much difference does that make to the team, and how well are they going?
Yeah, it's a huge difference, and yeah, again, like Craig mentioned, what we've been very lucky to have over the past 4 or 5 years is a really good core tier group. You know, the middle group of players who have just really, you know, maintained standards of the team, and they just go out and do their job every week. And we're lucky to have guys like Hinchcliffe and Brian Norrie and Jesse Bromwich. You know, I'd include him in as one of the stars. You know, I believe he's got to be, you know, top 3, if not the best prop in the game at the moment. I think he's just outstanding. You know, he's just so hard to handle. Every time he carries the ball, he's got 3 and 4 defenders on him. He takes a lot of pressure off our other ruck players, and, you know, the ability to offload, and that ball he gave Hinchy tonight, Hinchcliffe, put him under the post. You know, not many blokes can do that. You know, so he's playing really well. He's playing exceptionally well for a young guy in his position. And, you know, but as you said, you know, the guys that aren't your more well-known names, household names, you know, they're just playing their role and they're doing their job really well, especially the last 3 weeks. They need to continue doing that for the rest of the year.
You're not going to be able to travel along. You know, there's been a lot of people say, oh, the storm after storm this year.
Yeah.
You know, you're just not there. I think the secret's out.
Yeah, well, they were right. We weren't at the start of the year, and we knew we weren't. You know, that's the thing. You know, we knew we weren't playing to our capabilities. We know we've got a great footy side, but we just weren't playing to our capabilities. You know, it's and it was frustrating. You know, we won our first 3, I believe, and then we sort of went with, you know, a loss, a win. It's, you know, it's just been sort of up and down. But as I said, we've turned that around with our preparation and our training, and you know, all the boys are on board with what we want to do now for the rest of the season, and we just need to continue doing that.
Can you feel for Anthony Griffin? I know you're getting to the Storm 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you spirit thought for him and what he's gone through this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, I spent a fair bit of time with Hook. He was the guy that sort of gave me an opportunity to play first grade, or at least get to the Storm, and put me in the Melbourne Storm system. But you know, I think you know, he's done a wonderful job here at the Broncos. I know it's a pretty tough gig being the coach of the Brisbane Broncos. You know, they expect a lot of success and a lot of wins, but you know, that team that you've seen out there tonight, I think he's brought through pretty much the majority of those guys to first grade. You know, he coached them in the under-20s competition, and he brought them through this system and made them first graders. And yeah, I do feel for him. There's no doubt, because I think he's done a pretty good job given, you know, the pressure of being a Broncos coach. But again, you know, that's something that the Broncos need to deal with, and I'm sure, you know, it was a tough loss from tonight, and they'll be really disappointed. But I'm sure these guys will bounce back. They're a quality side.
Craig, can I just ask, is it more important than ever to be in the top 4 this year, given how tough the comp is, or continue to make a run from the bottom up?
No, I think it's the other way. I think there's ever going to be a team that might be able to do some damage from that bottom half. It might be this year, you know. And also, I think the competition's that close. You know, I'm not quite sure who's going to finish in the top 4. You think the 3 are up there at the moment are going to be hard to stop out, but whoever gets 4th spot, I don't think it's going to make a whole heap of difference, to be quite honest. So it'll be, you know, we're all going hard until the semi-finals, and then, you know, see where the cards fall then, and then go from there. But you know, I just think it's that open at the moment, and you just see the results each week. You know, there's always, you know, some big surprise every week. You know, so yeah, Andy could have.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
These guys. Yeah.